That's a blessing. What would you say? There are people who don't know anything about tech. They don't know anything about computers. If a young person is listening to us today, or even somebody who's in a job crisis, what were the 3 areas of entrepreneurship you would push people in?
First, before I even get to that, I would tell them to go hang around a whole group of people that they would never hung around in their life.
Wow.
And that's going to teach you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
I've literally did case studies on my own life, just going different places. Like when I was in my gas station,
yeah,
I would go to the library that was on the Alpharetta, and I would go sit in there and I would listen to people talk. See, I may sometimes just go in a room and don't say too much because I'm learning. And what I came to go, to get received. Some of us, it's like if a guy came in there and he wanted to learn God, but he trying to teach you God and he never studied it.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was in places that I never studied how to be a professional. I had to listen. You're going to have different ways on how to be taught, but you're going to be the best student because you know how to learn it. So I just was learning it. And when it comes to the tech world, hang with your kids.
Oh, yes.
Hang with your kids because my daughters, they on TikTok all day.
Oh, yeah.
I can't grasp it. I can't understand it. But the Gen Zs, like, they coming into the world. Like, when I was born, I had the little, that little steering wheel, the little race car thing. Yeah. That was the most technology I had, that little toy and my buddy dial. That I used to carry around every single day. Yeah. When I lost my buddy, it hurt it. But anyway, but these are the things I grew up off of, right? Now watch this. I want to say 1999, 2000. You got these Apple computers coming in now, right? Yeah. Remember the one with they had the clear backs on them?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so now you got computer class, right? Now you go into computer class, and now you got a teacher trying to teach you technology, and you never seen it in your life. These kids are getting iPads out the womb. Yeah. My youngest is 1 year old. Yeah. iPad. You get what I'm saying? So but these are the things that we have in this world that we didn't have. So I would say get around the younger kids and really learn it and see what they want. And with business especially, build you a team that you ain't the only person on the team knowing the technology. You want all the youth to come up and tell you what's the trend, what's going on. I mean, I'm 36 years old, but it's words they use in slang now. I'm lost. Oh, listen. And I never thought I was going to be that one because I used to be around my grandparents like, you don't know what I'm talking about. I feel like that now.
Oh, yeah. I still need you to drop them on me, 3 of them. So whether that's laundromats, whether that's,
so
what is it?
I'm going to give it to you.
Yes.
All right, so you said from the tech world, right?
No, not the tech. Having nothing to do with technology.
Not in the tech world?
Yes.
Business?
Yes. 3 businesses you would tell people to start that can be lucrative. A degree is not required. All they got to do is grind and hustle, but it's there. It's underexplored in our community.
I'm not gonna mention food because this ain't for the weak.
Yes,
so this is a different animal.
Yes.
I would go transportation because cars is always needed. Any type of transportation, you can build apps. You can do any of these things. You don't have to actually have the physical lot of selling cars. I would say transportation. Right. I would say the medical field, and I would say the last one I would have to say tech because I think tech is just. It's going into a space where you're going to need it. I mean, look at the cars. I mean, you got cars now that's running off electric. I think in the next 10 years, most of the cars will migrate from gas to electricity. And that's something that I'm adjusting to because I don't like them. I like to hear the sounds of my cars. When you get to electric, it's quiet.
Oh, it's nothing.
It's nothing. So, these are the things that we're adjusting to. But those are the things I would say that if you in those lines of business, I think that you will have a successful career if you do it right.
Over the pandemic, we were able to bless 1 million families with groceries.
Wow.
Food banks all over Georgia have run out of food. And one of the things that really helped save us was not grants. It wasn't celebrities. It was black farmers. So black farmers started sending us their surplus because restaurants were closed.
Yep.
And I want you to talk about because the ratio of black farmers, Derrick, has dropped by 85%. Nobody's being pushed into that area. I want you to talk about it as a restaurateur, how important it is that we are also in that industry as well.
Well, the restaurant industry right now is down 25%. Right?
Wow.
So
let me pause you right there. I read something. I don't want to forget it. Last summer, 4 3,000 restaurants closed in New York.
Yes, it's terrible right now. And that's another thing too. If you have any business, you got to learn how to pivot.
Yeah.
Whatever that pivot is, you got to find out what can you do to involve the community so people feel like they involved in what you're building. So for me, I mean, you know, having 25% restaurants being down as a whole community, if you floating at 7 to 15%, you got a superstar business right now. You know,
wow.
and you know, year to year, I'm always used to doing 90 to 100% year over year.
Yeah.
You know, and now I go to this market that's funny. I say, okay, how can I now keep Big Dave's AUV right? How can I now keep the customer base right? And how can I keep the food quality right when the economy is bad?
Wow.
You got to be you. You gotta really open up and let these people into your life to make them feel what you're really trying to pitch. And for me, speaking of the pandemic, when the pandemic hit, I watched people run off on their employees. I watched businesses close next to me. I said to myself one day, and I said, you know what? I have to do something different. I got to stand up. I got to show these people that I ain't just a talker. I'm here.
Yeah.
So what I did was I fed 1,000 people the week of the pandemic when we first found out that it was getting bad. I had my employees in heater bags. Cars was pulling up, and we giving them people free food.
Amazing.
From that day on, I fed 40 hospitals every single day. I made it my duty. That was my Big Dave's now, feeding hospitals, because I didn't know what COVID-19 was. I had my N95 on, but what I'm saying to myself is, if these people are in these hospitals trying to save lives, somebody got to be there to help them out too. So if I can feed you, that's what I'm going to do. Do you know that put me on every national outlet it was at the time? That made me $2 more million that year at the time. When everybody else was struggling, I was gaining.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for me to say, oh, I'm a put it out there and see if people bite the hook and what I can make more money. It was like me really feeling for these people and saying, you know what? If I'm going to go out with a bang, and the people are going to know that I was there to go out with that bang with them.
No, I love it. At this ticket to watch, having success, having notoriety, being recognized all over the world through different communities.
Yeah.
What are you now hungry for?
Man, let me tell you my dream.
All right.
I'm about to give you the biggest dream of it all, and it's not money. So now that I got 5 kids, this dream used to be just for 1 kid, but now I'm dreaming for 5 kids. I wanna drive in a car one day, and I wanna take a road trip with my kids. And on those X's on them blue signs, I want Big Dave's there, and they ain't looking at McDonald's.
Wow.
And I can say, come on, let's go check this one out. Let's see how they run in this location.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is. I wanted my father's name to live on. I made my dad name more famous than he was alive, and that was my goal.
Yeah.
So my goal, you know, is one day just having that feeling. And I know I'm going to get to that feeling, and I'm going to have my kids in the car, and we're going to be road tripping. And we might be somewhere in Massachusetts, wherever. Who knows where we at? And I can say, hey, look, this is Big Dave's right here. Let's go check it out. And we can walk in there just like regular civilians, not even knowing I'm the founder of the whole thing. But I want my kids to feel that, because if they feel that moment, it'll be something tangible what they want to hold on to. And that's what my dad did to me. If you watch somebody every single day bust their butt to make sure that you got food on the table and clothes on your back, and the extra activities and everything, he was always supportive. I want my kids to feel that same way with me when I'm dead and gone, to feel like they got to respect me and honor me, because everybody with money is going to get respected on earth, but what they going to say about you when you dead? That's what I care about.
No, that's powerful. I want you to encourage somebody, is some people who are listening who don't have a coach, don't have a mentor, but more than that, they don't have a father in their life. And so wherever it is that they are, I want you to just really just be their dad for a moment, and really push them in the right direction.
So I got a quote that I live by, and I say this every single day to myself. Sometimes I be in my own way, so I got to say this. Life is not a track meet, it's a marathon. It's all about how you end. Run your race. Don't watch nobody else race. Don't be in nobody else's lane, because God already got your lane written. As long as you keep driving your car and following your GPS, you're going to get to the end of your roadmap. Because the biggest thing for us is just being in our own way, looking at somebody else's success or saying, how come it happened with them? But you don't know how many failures they had to get there. You look at people like Samuel L. Jackson, Steve Harvey, any of these guys. You look at the success they having right now, but they didn't get on until they was 40.
Wow.
So what did they do out of the other 40 years? They worked.
Yeah.
You only see what you see on social media.
Yeah.
I'm almost 10 years in my company, and people only say now was, hey, you got 3 locations in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You just franchising. But what about the days I couldn't pay my employees? What about the days where I had to be the electrician? What about the days I had to be the plumber? What about the days when I sit and cry when nobody clapping for me and I'm sitting there saying, God, I spent my last money and this is what I'm going to do? Nobody don't know those stories.
Yeah.
So I want people to understand, like, those are the beautiful stories of what's going to make you great. That's what's going to make you be the person you want to be, because you're going to remember all of those things. You said it early on. The bad things, the roller coasters, those things is what's going to make you be great. You appreciate it more when you struggle through something to get everything you wanted and everything you gained.
I love it. A lot of people are listening to this podcast. They're only watching it exclusively on JamalBryant.org. That's how they're able to see you. I got to ask you this question.
Let's go.
How are you around cheesesteaks every day and in shape?
Hey, brother-in-law, hey, brother-in-law, what I do? I'm in the gym 2 times a day.
Wow.
I work out 2 times every day,
Wow.
morning and at night. Listen, working out has become an addiction to me because it's a different type of high. It's a mind, body, and soul type of high. If I can not feel like working out, and I can go in my garage and I can punch my punching bag and I can lift weights and I can do all these things I don't feel like doing, how can anything stop me in this world in business?
I love it.
Because I'm going to do everything I don't feel like doing. The biggest thing is going against your own will. When you wake up in the morning and you roll over in your pillow and you be like, 5 more minutes, you already lost.
Woo.
You already lost.
I lost today.
You already lost.
I needed another 5 minutes.
You already lost. Because
Wow.
I used to be that 5 minutes, but guess what?
Yeah.
Why you wasting that 5 minutes? Somebody else learning your job.
Woo.
That's how I look at it. It's somebody out there right now want to be the next big thing with the sandwich thing.
Yes.
Look, I got 1 million people selling egg rolls right now, making cheesesteaks. I got seafood spots doing cheesesteaks, everybody. But the one thing people got to understand is you got to stay in your lane, what makes you great.
Yeah.
You can't do stuff that other people do that make you think that you're going to jump the ladder, because ain't no elevator to heaven.
Wow.
It ain't one.
No.
And ain't no elevator to success.
Yeah.
You got to literally go through every step, every year, getting to different levels of your success to get there. Until the world make you a household name, you ain't make it.
I love it. I'm grateful. It messed up my last question because I was going to ask you, did you bring